let's talk about Curtis King. This is probably the last time that I'll ever bring him up on the channel. As you know, I've filmed quite a few videos on Mr. King. I bought his book. The reason that I bought his book is I truly did want to know more about him. The book was really good. It takes you on a roller coaster. I literally laughed out loud at a few parts of it. I also cried a couple times. Some parts just completely stressed me out. There were so many things that he said that I empathized with and that I totally agreed with. I'm not going to give away the entire book, obviously, but there were a few sections that I really liked. Almost anybody that watches Curtis King knows that he did a lot of his production in the beginning on a PlayStation. Obviously, he ran into a lot of problems that most of us run into. I think that when I filmed my videos, I was under the assumption that, and I don't even know why, he had talked about being broke, but I only knew him to have money. But then when I looked back on it, the first video that I saw of Curtis King, the same year that he wrote the book, 2018, he was like in a bedroom. So I don't know why. It was this strange thing that happened in my head. Almost like the Mandela effect. Not quite the Mandela effect, but just completely misremembering someone the way that they are now. And remembering them like that always. There was another part of the book that I really identified with where he screwed up his finances and he was just sitting in the car. Like, why? How can I possibly be this smart and keep fucking up this bad? That thought enters my mind so often. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why does nothing I do ever work out? Why am I not interesting enough to watch? That all brings me to Curtis King would give advice. And this was in the 2000s, about the same year that he wrote the book, 2018. When I first started watching Curtis King, he would give the same advice that a lot of other creators were giving about what you need to do to... I was mainly interested in growing my channel because my whole belief this entire time is that without an audience, you can't sell anything anyway. It wasn't until I grew an audience where I realized that trying to funnel them somewhere else didn't make too much sense to me because I enjoy creating the content. So the content became its own thing. But that wasn't the case when I first started. So I'm posting all my type beats. And honestly, thanks, Dame Taylor, because when I took those type beats off of my channel, my views shot up. The type beats were really confusing everything, and I knew that they were, but I didn't take them off because there were hundreds. So I followed all of Curtis King's advice. I followed everybody's advice to a T. It's like put up a banner, have professional looking pictures, put up content, upload daily, like all of these different things. And Curtis King may not have said these things, but I mean, this was years ago, and I'm probably mixing like 15 different creators up. But Curtis King was definitely on the same page. So they were all essentially saying the same exact thing. It wasn't until I was reading Curtis's book a few days ago that I put it together. Yes, I was taking all of the advice. But how was I implementing it? There's one thing I can tell you, you should make a banner so that your channel looks professional. And then you make a banner and you're like, awesome, but the banner sucks. But you made the banner. My videos sucked, but I made the videos. And I'm like, I'm doing all of these things and I'm working so hard. Why isn't it working? But if I go back and watch that content I was making, it freaking sucked. It wasn't interesting. I sat there and talked in circles. And it took me 20 minutes to even get to the topic. This information that a lot of people are giving is right, but you definitely have to do it well. And that's probably something that some of them said. But apparently I didn't quite understand that. I think like when you watch your content, if you can sit through the entire video again to check for mistakes and you're enjoying watching the video, that's a video that other people are going to enjoy watching. When I used to create these videos, I couldn't stand to watch it back for mistakes. It was so freaking boring. And I don't know why I thought that other people would want to watch my boring ass when I didn't even want to watch my boring ass. So I started to build this resentment, not just against Curtis, but against everybody that was giving advice in general. The whole thing started to piss me off because of frustration. And yes, there was a ton of jealousy. You know, I'm still going to my shitty job and everybody else was making it work. And it's like, why? Why is this happening to me? You know, like, why me, poor me? This book kind of changed my outlook. It changed my outlook on creators that help people or try to. One thing that Curtis really focuses on, name your price. If you believe that you're worth this amount, then charge this amount. If people don't want to pay it, then those weren't people that you should have been working with anyway, if they can't see your value. Long story short, no pun intended, there were so many good things in this book. It really did change the way that I'm looking at this entire thing, content creation. You know, I started talking a lot of smack about people. The reason that I started to do that was there was a video and it said beatmaker channels are getting worse. I think since then I've renamed it a couple times. I was wearing the Pinnacle t-shirt, and that was the video that pretty much launched my channel, because I was like, everybody's in the Matrix, all these videos are fucking same. Like, just talking shit. And then I was like, let me really hone in on specific people that I really don't like. You know, that steered me to this level of frustration that I'm in with both their success when I wasn't getting success, and also their shitty advice that I thought was shitty at the time. I knew to implement it, but I didn't know how to implement it in an interesting enough way. And it kind of put me in a position where that's all anybody wanted to watch. They wanted to watch me insult people. And I get it. I am the first one to admit, like, if I see drama happening on any channel, well, even if it's between people I don't know, like, I click. It is very satisfying to watch drama that's outside of your life, that doesn't affect you, that you can kind of look at and be like, at least I'm not in that situation, huh? And I understand the draw to drama, but it's not the type of content that I ever wanted to make. So funny, because this book kind of changed the course of my future. So Curtis King, thank you. I'm not doing that type of content anymore. I want to move more to the video essay style. Think Patrick CC. I really love, or Maddie Balls. I love that stuff. I just said balls so weird. Balls. Think about that style of content. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. I know that I'm not perfect at it yet, but I will improve. And that's kind of what I want to do. These video essay style video biographies on different artists and even some YouTubers and things like that. I would love to be able to interview. And, you know, I want to step away from this drama stuff. Not only is it mentally taxing, but it gives me a bad reputation on YouTube among my peers as this bitter bitch that only complains and makes fun of everybody. And that's not exactly the reputation that I want. Only with Busyworks. Okay? He's the only one. But we don't see the inner turmoil that we cause. Even Busyworks Beats has feelings. And he doesn't like to be criticized. I don't like to be criticized. Curtis doesn't like to be criticized. No one does. And anybody that says that they don't care, they're lying. Of course, there's a tinge of them that totally cares. I shouldn't have done what I was doing. Am I grateful that it finally grew a channel that I thought was dead? Yeah. But that's just not me. It's not me in real life. Do I gossip? Oh, hell yeah. But, you know, I try not to be malicious. And I try not to be a shitty human being. And I encourage everyone to not be shitty human beings. So back to the book. Again, this was written in 2018, so Curtis King does throw a little bit of attention towards Busyworks. Only once in the book does he tell you to go check out Busyworks Beats, saying that he's truly helping people. Again, that was just a sign of the times, and that was who Curtis was working with at the time. But as far as outdated stuff, there really wasn't anything. Even the advice that he gave to people at the end of the book was pretty up to date, maybe except for SoundClick. I don't know how many people still use that. I have a SoundClick profile. I don't pay for the full profile, but I have a few beats up on there. But I don't even think that Curtis King worked with BeatStars yet. So in the Problem with All Music Producers video, I said that Curtis King was an early adopter of beat leasing. I thought he was, not only from other videos, but also because he was in that Complex article with Abe Batchin, I assumed that he was like an early adopter of beat leasing, but he actually wasn't. He didn't start doing it, I don't think, until 2017, 2018, which I wouldn't exactly consider an early adopter since it's been around since like 2008. It's definitely a timeless read. I think if you are a music producer or a beat maker, and Dame Taylor says there's no difference. I don't think that there's any difference either, but Curtis King actually did go into the difference that he believed between a beat maker and a music producer. I used to think that there was a difference too until Dame Taylor was like, when you get on an album, there's not a line that says beat maker Leah Jude. It's just music producer. So like that's when I stopped, and I don't know if that's something that Curtis still goes by, the difference between beat maker and music producer. But if you want to read something inspiring, something positive, and really get a feel for somebody else's struggles, take you outside of yourself, I would strongly recommend, I cannot believe that I'm doing this, I would recommend this book. But anyway, Curtis King, I apologize. I really do. And to anybody else that I've hurt, I'm sorry. And, hopefully we can continue this year more positively, and I can get on with my video essays. Thank you guys for watching. I really, really appreciate it. This video is sponsored by me. If you want to help me out, leaving a like on the video would be extremely helpful when it comes to the algorithm. You can go so far as to buy me a coffee. The link to that is in the description. All of the money goes toward creating more content like this.